Hello students, I'm Sai Baba here. So in the previous class, I have discussed about isobaric process and some numerical problems based on isobaric process and first law of thermodynamics. So I have discussed problem 5 which is still seen on the screen. So in this class, I would like to discuss how we can calculate the molar specific heat of the gas at constant volume if you are given the molar gas constant, and also discuss how to calculate the molar specific heat at constant volume for a mixture of 2 or 3 non-reacting gases when they are at same temperature. And then I would like going to discuss about isothermal application of first law of thermodynamics for isothermal process. So now I am going to discuss how we can, of course, this problem 5 I have already completed the discussion in the previous class. So now I am going to discuss how we can calculate molar specific heat at constant volume if you know the value of gamma. Actually, this part I have already discussed one of the problems, but still I would like to discuss specifically now because it is used directly in good number of problems. The ratio of the molar specific heat at constant pressure and molar specific heat at constant volume of a gas denoted by gamma. So difference in the molar specific heat at constant pressure and molar specific heat at constant volume of any gas is same, which is equal to universal gas constant, which is positive. That means for any gas, Cp is greater than Cv and gamma is greater than 1. So from Cp by Cv equal to gamma. So from this equation you can write gamma Cp equal to gamma times Cv. So this relation, as I told you earlier, called Mayer's relation. So you can substitute Cp equal to gamma into Cv in this equation. Therefore, you get gamma into Cv minus Cv equal to R, or Cv into gamma minus 1 equal to Kepler. Therefore, molar specific heat of the gas at constant volume, right? Capital C subscript capital V equal to Kepler by gamma minus 1. So you can calculate the value of molar specific heat at constant volume for any gas by substituting the value of gamma in this equation. Okay, this result we are going to use directly in good number of problems and derivations also. So next I am going to discuss how we can calculate the value of the molar specific heat at constant volume for a mixture of 2 non-reacting gases at same temperature, and how to find gamma for the mixture of the 2 gases. So I am going to discuss about how we can find you please concentrate only to listen. Don't write running notes when I am explaining. I will show you the notes separately for you. Suppose if you consider 2 non-reacting gases at the same temperature. In the case of, for a mixture of two non-reacting gases at same temperature. Then you can write total internal energy system of the two gases is equal to sum of the internal energy of the first gas plus internal energy of second gas, or change in the internal energy of system of the two gases. Temperature changes by dT. Equal change in internal energy of the first gas plus change in internal energy of second gas. So you can write this as nu1 CV1 dt. I told you change internal energy of the fixed mass of an ideal gas when the temperature of the gas changes by infinitesimally small amount can be done nu CV dt. du for the mixture of the two gases, you can total number of moles of the mixture of the two gases, you can write nu1 plus nu2. If the two gases are non-reacting, there will be no change total number of moles. And du to change entire second gas, you can write nu2 into CV2 dt. CV1 is the molar specific constant volume for the first gas. CV2 is the molar specific constant volume for second gas. Therefore, you can write nu1 plus nu2 into CV is equal to nu1 CV1 plus nu2 into CV2. So molar specific constant volume in terms of molar gas constant can be written as R by gamma minus 1. So in CV1 can be written as R by gamma 1 minus 1. CV2 can be written as R by gamma 2 minus 1. So gamma 1 represents the ratio of the molar specific heats at constant volume, constant pressure, constant volume for the first gas, and gamma 2 is the ratio of the specific heats for second gas. If gamma is so nu on the left hand side, you have nu1 plus nu2 into CV. That CV you can write R by gamma minus 1. So R is a common factor, gets cancelled. So you get nu1 plus nu2 by gamma minus 1 is equal to nu1 by gamma 1 minus 1 plus nu2 by gamma 2 minus 1. Suppose if the two gases are mixed with equal number of moles, if nu2 equal to nu1, then in this equation, nu1 plus nu2 can be written as nu1 plus nu2 can also be written nu1, that is 2 nu1. So nu1 into CV1 plus nu2 is also equal to nu1, CV2. So you can write 2 nu1 into CV is equal to nu1 into CV1 plus CV2. That means if two non-reacting ideal gases at the same temperature are mixed, then molar specific heat at constant volume for the mixture of the two gases, simply arithmetic mean of the molar specific heats at constant volume for the two gases. And if you want to find gamma, you can write CV equal to R by gamma minus 1 on the left side. CV1 is equal to R by gamma 1 minus 2. CV2 equal to R by gamma 2 minus 1. Then you get 2 by gamma minus 1 equal to 1 by gamma 1 minus 1 plus 1 by gamma 2 minus 1. I mean, if equal number of moles are mixed, you need not write running notes when I am explaining. I will be showing you the notes in a systematic manner now for what I have discussed in this class for calculation of gamma for the mixture of the two gases. So now look at the screen. Those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes. So you can see the note here for a mixture of two non-reacting gases at the same temperature T. Can write U equal U1 plus U2. U is the total internal energy of mixture of the two gases. U1 is the internal energy of the first gas. U2 is the internal energy of first gas. So here written U1 can be written U1 CV1 into T. CV1 is molar specific constant volume for first gas. U2 is the number of moles of second gas, and CV2 is the molar specific constant volume for second gas. So for the mixture of the two gases, the total internal energy can be the total number of moles, that is U1 plus U2 into CV for the mixture into T. So divide with T, you get U1 plus U2 into CV equal U1 into CV1 plus U2 into CV2. So you can write CV1 equal R by gamma 1 minus 1, CV2 equal R by gamma 2 minus 1, CV equal R by gamma 1. So those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here. I would like to show the next slide, that is the continuation to this. So you get U1 plus, we divide the equation with R, you get U1 plus U2 by gamma 1 of 1 is equal to U1 by gamma 1 minus 1 plus U2 by gamma 2 minus 1. CV1, comma CV2 denote the molar specific constant volume for the two gases. If U2 equal U1, that means if equal moles are, number of moles are mixed. Molar specific constant volume for the mixture of the two gases is given by CV equals CV1 plus CV2 by 2. So from the same equation, if U1 and U2 are equal, molar specific using this equation. I just want to show how we have write the right side equation from this equation. CV can write R by gamma minus 1. CV1 we can write R by gamma 1 minus 1. CV2 is equal to R by gamma 2 minus 1. So if we divide the equation with R, multiply with 2. So that means multiply the equation with 2 by R. So you get 2 by gamma minus 1 is equal to 1 by gamma 1 minus 1 plus 1 by gamma 2 minus 1. So this is the result you can arrive at, which is applicable if equal number of moles are mixed. Those who are writing the notes, please take a pause, finish writing the notes up to here. Next, I am going to discuss about isothermal process. So now I am going to discuss about isothermal process. All of you please stop writing. Concentrate only to listen to my discussion. I'll show you the notes later. So in isothermal process, that means if a system, that means a fixed mass of a material or a fixed mass of a substance is isolated from surroundings and undergoes changes in the pressure and volume such that temperature of system remains constant, then it is called isothermal process. So if the temperature of the system remains constant in a process, then it is called isothermal process. So in isothermal process, temperature of the system remains constant. So you just concentrate to listen, don't write running notes when I am discussing. I will show you the notes separately for you. So if you consider a fixed mass of a gas in isothermal process. So for fixed mass of gas in isothermal process, temperature remains constant. Internal energy of a fixed mass of an ideal gas with a given atomicity depends only on the temperature of the gas. If the temperature of the gas is constant for a fixed mass of an ideal gas isothermal process, we can say that internal energy remains constant, or du is 0, or change in the internal energy of the gas will be 0. So if you apply first law of thermodynamics for isothermal process, delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W. If delta U is 0, So you get delta W equal to delta Q. Delta Q equal to delta W or delta W. That means whatever heat energy is absorbed by the gas in the isothermal process, it is entirely used for doing external work. And no part of the heat energy supplied is used for increasing the internal energy of the gas. As I told you earlier about when I discussed about work done by gas, whenever the volume of a gas increases in any process, we can say that work is done by the gas. Delta W is positive in the equation of the first law of thermodynamics. So during isothermal expansion, during the isothermal expansion of the gas, delta W expansion final volume is more than the initial volume. The work done by the gas is positive. Delta Q is positive. If delta Q is positive, implies that heat energy absorbed by the gas from surroundings. So that means during the isothermal expansion of the gas, work is done by the gas and exactly same amount of heat energy is absorbed by the gas from surroundings, so that internal energy of the gas remains constant. That means whatever amount of work is done by the gas and exactly same quantity of heat energy flows into the gas from surroundings. So in practice, this can happen only when the gas is contained in a vessel with a perfectly conducting walls. Because suppose if 400 joules of work is done by the gas during the isothermal expansion in a particular process, the expansion can be called as isothermal only when exactly same amount of heat, means 400 joules must flow into the gas from surroundings, which is possible when the gas is contained in a vessel with perfectly conducting walls. So to carry out isothermal expansion or compression of gas, the walls of the vessel containing the gas must be perfectly conducting, so that the gas is in perfectly thermal contact with the surroundings. So during the isothermal compression, delta W is during compression of gas. Whenever the volume of a fixed mass of a gas decreases in any process, we can say that work is done on the gas, delta W is negative. That means delta W in the equation for first law of thermodynamics represent work done by the system. That will be negative. So delta Q is also negative. Delta Q is negative implies that heat energy lost by the gas. So if you multiply both sides of the equation with a minus sign, minus delta W is equal to minus delta Q. That means delta Q is negative, means heat energy lost by the gas. So work done on the gas during the isothermal compression will be equal to the heat energy lost by the gas to the surroundings. That means, for example, if 100 joules of work is done on the gas in compressing the gas in isothermal compression, exactly 100 joules of heat energy will flow from gas into surroundings. So when the gas in a cylinder is compressed, the compression can be called as isothermal compression when exactly same amount of heat energy flows from gas into surroundings, which is possible when gas is contained in a vessel with perfectly conducting walls. That means to carry out isothermal compression or expansion of a gas, the walls of the vessel containing the gas must be perfectly conducting. So a perfect isothermal process is a practical impossibility, practically not possible. because perfect conductor is not available. Because in practice, finite time is required. I mean, considerable time is required for transfer of heat energy to take place between the system and surroundings. The time required for transfer of heat energy to take place between the system and surroundings depends on the dimensions of the vessel and thermal conductivity of the material of the vessel. So therefore, the perfect isothermal process is not possible because perfect conductor is not available. But isothermal process can be achieved approximately. The gas contained in a vessel, when the walls of the vessel are made up of a conducting material, I mean relatively good conductors like metallic conductors. The walls of the vessel are conducting, and if the expansion is carried out very slowly, that means the gas contained in a vessel with conducting walls is expanded very, very slowly or compressed very, very slowly. You can assume that the transfer of heat energy takes place between the gas and surroundings. That means you are allowing sufficient time for transfer of heat energy to take place between the gas and surroundings. For example, if the gas is expanded slowly in a long time interval, suppose the 100 joules of heat energy work is done by the gas during the expansion. The expansion can be called as isothermal if exactly 100 joules of heat energy flows into gas from surroundings. And that can be achieved in practice, I mean approximately, if the expansion is carried out very, very slowly. So a very, very slow expansion or very, very slow compression of gas contained in a conducting vessel can be approximately considered as isothermal process. So in isothermal process, temperature remains constant. So for a fixed mass of an ideal gas in isothermal process, Boyle's law will be applicable. Boyle's law is applicable for an ideal gas at constant temperature. That is, product of pressure and volume remains constant. Next, I am going to discuss how to calculate the work done by the gas in the isothermal process. Now just concentrate only to listen to my discussion or explanation. I will show you the notes separately for you. Don't write running notes when I am explaining. You can write the notes later. So Boyle's law is applicable for a fixed mass of an ideal gas in isothermal process. That is, product of pressure and volume remains constant. So product of initial pressure and initial volume is equal to product of final pressure and final volume. That you can write nu RT, where nu is the quantity of the gas expressed in mole, capital R is the molar gas constant, capital T is the absolute temperature of the gas. So in general, work done by a fixed mass of a gas contained in a vessel, when the volume of the gas changes by infinitesimally small amount, dV, starting from volume V, is given by PdV. So PV equal to constant, which you can write it as mu RT. So P can be written as nu RT by V. So P can be written as nu RT by V. So total work done by the gas during isothermal process, when the volume changes from V equal to Vi to V equal to Vf, can be found by integrating this equation. Now the temperature of the gas remains constant. So the product of P nu RT can be treated as constant for a fixed mass of ideal gas in isothermal process. Can substitute dW equal nu RT into dV by V. So nu RT we can put outside integral symbol. Integral of 1 by V dV. As we discussed earlier in the elementary calculus, integral of 1 by x dx is equal to log x to the base c plus constant of integration. Did not write the constant of integration when there are limits for integration. So that will be nu rt into log v to the base c, with lower limit v equal to vi and upper limit v equal to vf. So now substitute the values of the limits here. That is nu rt into log vf to the base c minus log vi to the base c. That means the value of function for upper limit minus the value of function for lower limit. This you can write nu rt into log to the base c vf by vi. So work done by the gas, fixed mass of a gas, when its volume changes from vi to vf in the isothermal process at constant temperature T is given by nu rt to log to the base c vf by vi. So during the expansion of the gas, vf is greater than vi, that is final volume is greater than the initial volume. So vf by vi will be greater than 1. So logarithm of a number greater than 1 is positive. W is positive. You can write W or delta W, anything for calculator work done. During the compression of the gas, the final volume is less than the initial volume. And the ratio of the final volume to the initial volume will be less than 1. Logarithm of a number less than 1 is negative. In that case, then work done by the gas during the isothermal process is negative. That means when the gas is compressed, work done by the gas will be negative. In some of the numerical problems, instead of temperature of the gas, you may be given the pressure and volume in the initial state. The nu RT can also be written as PIVI. So the work done by the gas in the isothermal process, I mean heat energy absorbed by the gas isothermal process, same as the work done by the gas, which you can write nu RT into log to the base c Vf by Vi. So in the isothermal process, you can write Boyle's law is applicable PIVI equal to PF Vf equal to nu RT. Substituting here these values, you can write same formula can also be written as, in case we are given the pressure of the gas at the initial state and volume of the gas in the initial state and ratio of the final and initial volumes. Then you can also write the parallel in terms of this way. Or if you are given the final pressure and final volume and initial volume, then you can also write like this: P of Vf in log to the base C Vf by Vi. You can write any one of 3 ways. But most of the problems, the first form is used when temperature is given. So next, I would like to show you discuss the calculation of slope of the tangent to the isothermal curve. If you draw a graph showing the variation of pressure of the gas with change in the volume of the gas, it is called indicator diagram. So at constant temperature, pressure of the gas is inversely proportional to volume. That means Boyle's law is applicable for the ideal gas in isothermal process. So that means Y proportional to 1 by X. This relation represents a rectangular hyperbola, a curve called rectangular hyperbola. I'd like to next discuss the calculation of slope of the tangent to the isothermal PV curve at a point on the curve with coordinates V1, P1. and calculation of bulk modulus of elasticity of the gas in isothermal process, which you find its application later. So you just again concentrate to listen. I will show you the notes separately for you. So for fixed mass of gas in isothermal process, for fixed mass of an ideal gas in the isothermal process, product of pressure and volume is a constant. Therefore, if you differentiate both sides with respect to the volume V, so derivative of the product of P into V, can write P into derivative of V with respect to V plus V into dP by dV. Derivative of constant is 0. So dV by dV will be 1. So P into 1. Take the second term to the right side. Minus V dP by dV. So bulk modulus of elasticity from definition. I denoted by B. It's called volume stress by volume strain. So mathematically you can write minus dP by dV by V. Or you can write minus V dP by dV. Minus V dP by dV, we got it as equal to the pressure P. That means bulk modulus of elasticity of the gas in the isothermal process can be taken as equal to same as the pressure of the gas. It's a conclusion to remember, which you also make use of this conclusion later in second year chapters found when you discuss the formula for velocity of sound in a gas, Newton's formula for velocity of sound in a gas. So in general, bulk modulus of elasticity of gas in the isothermal process will be equal to the same as the pressure of the gas. Of course, bulk modulus in the case of solids we can consider it as a constant for a given solid. Even for a liquid, bulk modulus can be assumed to be a constant for a given liquid. But the bulk modulus of a gas depends on the process which the gas undergoes. In the isothermal process, bulk modulus of elasticity of the gas is equal to the pressure of the gas. So dP by dV gives you the slope of the tangent to the PV curve. So from this equation, you can write dP by dV is equal to minus P by V. So slope of tangent to PV curve. So the tangent to isothermal PV curve, I mean, at the point with the coordinates V1, P1, that is volume V1, pressure P1, is equal to the value of dP by dV for that coordinates. That you can write minus P1 by V1. Now I am going to summarize the entire discussion I have done so far about isothermal process. That is, I am going to show you the systematic notes of the entire discussion which I have done isothermal process. So those who are writing the notes, please get ready with your notebook and pen. I am going to show you the notes in a systematic manner for the isothermal process. Now look at the screen here. I am going to read out the definition for isothermal process, and I am going to show you the notes in a systematic manner for isothermal process and for calculation of work done. So please take a pause wherever required and finish writing the notes. I am going to read out the statements. In a thermodynamic system undergoes a process under the condition that its temperature remains constant, then the process is said to be isothermal process. For a fixed mass of an ideal gas in isothermal process, Boyle's law will be applicable and interaction of the gas remains constant. That is PV equal URT equal to constant. So those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here. So next I will be showing you next slide. That is a continuation to this. Therefore, delta U will be 0 because internal energy U is constant delta U. So applying first law of thermodynamics, TD short form for thermodynamics, delta Q is equal to delta U plus W for this process. Come on, those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here. I am going to show you the continuation for this. So we are going to substitute delta U equal to 0 on the right hand side in the first law of thermodynamics. So we get delta Q equal to 0 plus W, or delta Q is equal to W. The heat energy absorbed by the gas during the isothermal expansion will be equal to the work done by the gas which is given by delta Q equal to W equal to URT to log to the BC, VF by VI. Those who are writing the notes, please finish writing the notes up here. But of course, here I have directly given the formula or equation for work calculation of work done by the gas in the isothermal process. I will show you the working in the next page. I mean in the next slide I will be showing you the working. The working will be required for the board exams. In case you are asked to derive the expression for work done by the gas isothermal process, you have to write the derivation, the board exam. But first, you are expected to remember this result, which can be directly used while solving numerical problems for calculation of work done by the gas isothermal process. So those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here. I would like to show the continuation to this. I'm going to show the next slide. So same thing can also be written as, that is W in the isothermal process can also be written as PIVI log to the base VF by VI, or P of VF into log to the base VF by VI. Here PIVI equal to PFV equal to URT. Come on, look at now here I am giving the working, that is the proof part for this result. W equal integral dW with lower limit V equal to VI, upper limit V equal to VF. dW can write PdV. We have P equal to PV equal to URT, or P equal to URT by V. Come on, those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to this step, so that I will show you the continuation to this in my next slide. So when the volume changes from VI to VF at a constant temperature T, then dW equals, that means in the previous slide, I have written dW can take out PdV. So you can substitute P equal URT by V. And URT can take outside integral symbol because temperature of the gas is constant in the isothermal process. Integral 1 by V dV. So 1 by V dV, integral 1 by V dV can write log V to the base, which limits V equal to VI to V equal to VF. So applying the limits, you can write W equal URT log VF minus log VI to the base E. Come on, those who are writing the notes, they can take a pause and finish copying the notes. So I'm going to read the continuation here. So during the isothermal expansion, isothermal compression, VF is less than VI, W is negative, and delta Q is negative. That is, work done on the gas during the isothermal compression will be equal to the heat energy lost by the gas to the surroundings. Please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here. So I'm going to show the continuation to this. The essential condition for an isothermal process is that the system must be contained in a perfectly conducting chamber so that the heat produced or absorbed during the process at once goes out to or comes in from outside, because delta Q is equal to W. So perfect isothermal process is not possible because perfect conductor is not available. A very slow expansion or compression of a gas contained in a conducting vessel can be approximately considered as an isothermal process. So those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes. So by chance you are not writing the notes, you are at least take a pause and once go through these statements. You are expected to be familiar with the discussion. So I am going to show the next slide continuation to this. There is one conclusion which you need to remember, for which I am going to show the working also. The bulk modulus of velocities of gas in isothermal process will be equal to the pressure of the gas. This is a conclusion you have to remember. I am showing the working for the same conclusion which I explained before. For in isothermal process, PV equal to constant. Therefore, d by dV of PV equal to d by dV of constant, or P dV by dV plus V dP by dV equal to 0. That is differentiating both sides with respect to volume. Or you get from same equation P equal to minus V dP by dV or minus dP by dV by V equal to P, or bulk modulus of the gas equal to pressure of the gas. Come on, those who are copying the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here. So slope of the tangent to isothermal PV curve at the point V1, P1 is equal to the value of dP by dV at the point V1, P1, that is equal to minus P1 by V1. So this completes the notes for the isothermal process which I have discussed earlier. Next I am going to, this is a figure for isothermal process, I mean indicated diagram. I stands for initial state in the indicated diagram, F is the final state. VI represents the initial volume, VF is the final volume. Of course, I have shown the graph for expansion of the gas at constant temperature. That means here we take pressure P along y-axis and volume of the gas along x-axis. So those who are writing the notes, please take a pause and finish writing the notes up to here. So I am going to show you a problem next. Look at the screen here. I am going to discuss this problem. In case you are interested to solve the problem yourself, you can take a pause and solve the problem. It is a simple problem only. A fixed mass of an ideal gas at NTP expands isothermal until its volume is doubled. The gas absorbs 100 calories from surroundings, then find the work done with the gas in joule. Take J equal to, that is mechanical equivalent to feet, 4.186 joule per calorie. So from first law of thermodynamics, delta Q is equal to, that is heat energy absorbed by the gas, is equal to delta U plus delta W. But in isothermal process, for fixed mass of an ideal gas, in isothermal process, temperature is constant, so internal energy is constant, or you can say change in the internal energy of the gas is 0. Therefore, delta Q is same as delta W, or delta W is same as delta Q. So it's given that gas absorbs 100 calories from surroundings. Therefore, delta W is same as delta Q, means that is also delta W is also 100 calories. That is 100 into 4.186 joules. That will be 418. So So 418.6 joules is the answer. So if you want to copy the solution of the problem, you can take a pause and finish writing the solution of the problem. So it's a conceptual question. There is no much calculation. You have to know that work done with the gas in isolated process. Same as the heat energy absorbed with the gas from surrounding. The heat energy absorbed with the gas is 100 calories. Work done is also 100 calories. This volume, you are given the ratio of the volumes only to confuse. So it's such type questions are expected in objective type paper. So in my next class, I am going to discuss about the adiabatic process. Application of first law of thermodynamics in the adiabatic process.